Hey YouTube, today I'm going to talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and it's all over YouTube and there's lots of good resources out there, but it's something that I figured that I'd touch on just a little bit. Today, obviously, as you guys can see laid out on the table, I've got most of my first aid kits. Back here, this is what stays in my house, in the bathroom. This is a pretty large kit that stays in my car. This is one that, usually it stays with my hunting equipment. It's pretty lightweight, but, if I have to travel or something, this is one that I would probably take with me most places. This is the one out of my bug out bag, which you guys maybe have seen the video on. This is a small little kit that stays in my EDC. It's got, all the stuff that I use pretty often. Here's a compact one I just put together to throw in my range bag. Actually, this weekend, a guy I was shooting with at the range got a little too high on the slide and it bit him, so I wanted just to have some band-aids and some glasses wipes because the heat here was causing my glasses to fog up a lot when we were shooting at the indoor range. So just some really compact kit that I can throw in my range bag. And then right here, this is something I just put together, which I'm going to be focusing on today, which is a trauma kit. And most of you guys know the difference between first aid and trauma. First aid is everyday essentials, maybe anywhere from a cut, a scrape, bruise, bug bite. Whereas trauma, this would be serious hemorrhaging or bleeding. So this is something that isn't meant to take the place of a first aid kit. It's definitely in conjunction with, but this is something if I'm thinking I'm going to put this with my range bag, just in case, or keep it in my car for if anyone ever loses an appendage or gets shot or stabbed. This is maybe to stop some bleeding until an EMT arrives or an ambulance, or safely get someone to the hospital. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on today. So hang tight and I'll show you what's inside. Alright guys, so I cleared off the table. I'm going to show you what I've got now. Let me first start by saying that I watched a lot of videos and I've done a lot of reading and preparing. And when it comes to first aid, there's a couple things you need to know. Obviously, there's a certain skill set involved with using a lot of this gear. And I will say that, I'm of the mindset that I'd rather have the gear available, and if something happens, be able to pass it off maybe to an EMT or somebody that's trained. For me, preparedness is having things with you that can be utilized by anyone around you. So not to say that I'm 100% qualified for all of the gear in this trauma kit, but this is something that gives me a peace of mind that if I had to, I could definitely utilize most of what's in here. But hopefully I could pass it off to someone with a lot more training and know-how. And this by no means is meant to take the place of a doctor visit or calling 911. This is simply to hopefully stop bleeding or hemorrhaging or something of that nature until paramedics arrive. I'm going to put a link to a couple of videos that I watched where I got ideas for most of this gear. One was a review over Coyote Tactical Solutions. They have an all-inclusive kit that has a lot of the same gear. I saw a review by a YouTuber that I'll put a link in the description. And then also there was a user review of this exact pack. That's why I really liked this idea of this kit before I even ordered it. So I'll put links to both of those videos. But this is Vanquest. It's a pretty nice pouch. It's heavy duty. It's got a tearaway pull tab here, which I like, so you can get into this kit really easily. This is the medium size. It's a 5x8. They have a 4x6 and also a 7x10, which I just found, which I'm thinking about utilizing to take the place of this first aid kit that I keep in my car. It's pretty lightweight nylon, and I was thinking something that's a little heavier that can take a little more abuse. I've had this thing for maybe 8 or 9 years. I bought it from REI, and I just keep adding to it to the point that it's about to bust open. There's so much stuff in here, but I'm gonna show you what I got here. So I just put kind of a this is like a tactical medic pouch on the front. It's just a fun idea, but it lets me know what it is, or maybe anyone else you know, of what's kind of inside. I've got some shears on the side here in this molly webbing. I've got a little pin light which shows a pupil dilation diagram, and then a pin on the side. And then right here in the front pouch, which I'm not going to be able to open probably right now, but there's like a Write in the Rain little spiral notebook inside, so if I need to take notes or write anything down. Alright, so essentially you can just kind of pull away these zippers and rip this thing open. I don't want to throw any gear out, but I'm going to kind of just show you how it works. So as you see, this is exactly what I didn't want, you know, gear falling out. But this is a little razor blade that I bought from Amazon. Just a little single blade. It could be used to maybe if you have to cut off, you know, some clothing or something like that. I've got some liquid bandage, which I've started using this stuff here lately with this hot weather when it's so dry. You know, if I get a cut or work or something, throw a little bit of this on there. It's a lot easier than a Band-Aid, and it just keeps the wound closed so that it's not open to infection, or, you know, I'm not bleeding on anything at work. I've got a little bottle of iodine. Here's some regular super glue, and I've got a couple different types of bandages, some waterproof bandages and stuff that I just kind of flattened out so they fit in this nylon cord really well. Alright, so this is like a big one for me, is your eyes. So I've got just some eye wash. I picked this stuff up for a couple bucks, but you can definitely just pop the top off this, spray this in your eyes if you get any kind of debris in there. You know, if you guys have seen eye wash stations, you know, like they have maybe at some of your work or whatever, like the OSHA type, they're like 300 bucks for that little kit, whereas this is just a couple bucks, and it kind of does the same thing. Over here you can see I've got a cat tourniquet, and then behind that I've got just some gloves. There's like 2 sets of gloves back there. They're not sterile gloves, which I've looked at some, you know, individually wrapped sterile gloves, but I'm thinking it to the point where I'm using this trauma kit that maybe sterilization's not 100% what I'm concerned with. So here I've got basically like a little Israeli bandage, and then there's some compressed gauze, so obviously these are going to be sterilized and sealed. Here's some Tegaderm, I guess I'm pronouncing that right. These are bandages, film dressings, whatever. So I've got a couple of these. They're, what's it, like 4x6 or something like that. There's a few alcohol prep pads stuffed in here, some gauze, and then some suture kits. Like I said, I'm not really condoning that you skip the hospital. This kit is really like a last resort, or to pass off to somebody that's a trained medic. A Z-Pack dressing, and then here's a halo chest seal. So this is like if somebody gets a wound where you know, a lung's punctured or something, this will help it seal up that so they can breathe still. And that's it in the middle pockets. And then back here you can see I've got these forceps. Alright, a nasopharyngeal airway. So this kind of delves into the realm of products in here that, you know, I'd rather have, but I'm probably not qualified to use. I've watched a lot of videos on how this works, but it's not something I would be comfortable using unless it was a last resort. Some more forceps, and then this is some lube that goes with this, and then that's pretty much it. So like I said, it's a very basic trauma kit. It's not first aid. There's not band-aids in here, you know, there's not Neosporin, there's not things of that nature. This is simply for, you know, if somebody gets in a car accident and I happen to arrive on the scene, or, you know, maybe I'm shooting out at the range and somebody, heaven forbid, shoots somebody else, or you just never know what could happen, or cuts off an appendage, you know, who am I to say? You never know. I've been in actually a couple scenarios in my life where I've been in a major car accident where there was a lot of blood loss, and it was several minutes until paramedics arrived. And then I've actually been in an accident with a family member where we had to wait for a helicopter to show up with EMTs because we were kind of in the back country, and luckily there was no blood. Somebody was injured, but this is the kind of gear that you want to have and never, hopefully never use. It's just one of those last resort type deals. So I'm not, here to coach you on, first aid. I'm not a paramedic. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a surgeon. But gear preparedness is something that I care strongly about. So I'm just giving you a look into my trauma kit. So let me know what you think. If you got any questions, maybe anything you think I should add or take out or I wouldn't need. But thanks for watching.